In a quiet village, there lived a man who was known as a wise man. He is often asked for advice by the villagers on family, work, and life issues. However, behind his wisdom, this man had one annoying weakness: laziness. Every morning, he woke up with a strong intention to do things. He wanted to help his neighbors, work in the fields, and learn new things. However, as soon as the sun began to rise, the laziness set in, shackling her spirit and discouraging her from doing anything. Day after day passed, and he felt that this laziness was beginning to get the better of him, hindering the steps he should have taken. One day, this wise man decided to fight his laziness. He sat under a large tree near his home and pondered. "How can I, who often gives advice to others, be trapped in such laziness?" he thought. After a while, he realized that in order to overcome laziness, he had to understand its cause. She realized that her laziness came from not having a clear goal for each day. Although she knew what she wanted to do, she didn't set priorities or make a clear plan. Everything felt like too big a burden to deal with all at once. With this new understanding, the wise man decided to start something simple. He made a small plan every night before going to bed. He wrote down 3 things he wanted to accomplish the next day, things that were quite simple but important. He also sets a time to rest so as not to feel overwhelmed throughout the day. The first day started with small things, like sweeping the yard, reading a chapter of a book she'd been meaning to finish, and helping a neighbor fix her gate. At first, laziness still tried to creep in, but he reminded himself of the plans he had made and how fulfilling them would bring him great satisfaction. Day by day, this wise man began to notice a change. The laziness that was once so strong began to weaken. Every time he managed to complete the small tasks he had planned, he felt a greater sense of encouragement. His wisdom also increased, as he now had real experience in overcoming his own weaknesses. Not only that, the changes in him were also visible to those around him. They saw him become more productive and more eager to help others. When asked what his secret was, he simply smiled and said, "Overcoming ourselves is our biggest task. Start with small things, and slowly, laziness will be eroded by the desire to achieve something bigger." This wise man eventually realized that overcoming laziness is not about forcing oneself to work harder, but rather about self-management, understanding the root of the problem, and acting with small but consistent steps. From then on, he lived his life with passion and continued to share his wisdom with those around him.